Hello everyone. I, Ms. Bhavna Danesh Munod, welcome you all in Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. Good day, dear students. Last period we studied about law of supply, the definition, the statement of supply. And in the statement of supply, we have studied that law of supply, that is, supply is directly related with price, children, and quantity, that is, commodity, quantity of a commodity. So, higher the supply or higher the price, higher will be the supply, lower the price, low will be the supply. So, this shows that supply has a direct relationship with price and quantity demanded. Then we will study now the next point in our chapter, children, that is assumptions of law of supply. Assumptions we all know, we have studied that when these points are true, then that statement will be correct. When we assume these things are the constant, it will not change, then law of supply statement will be correct. Now the first one, children, is constant cost of production in assumption. Now what it tells us, that it is assumed if there is no change in the cost of production, a change will affect. Means no change, it will not be affected, but a slight change in cost of production will affect the profit of the seller, and therefore less quantity will be supplied at the same price. Means a certain change in price will affect the selling product, children, that is constant cost of production, and then it will affect the profits of the seller. So less quantity will be supplied at the same price. But if the constant cost of production is not changed, means it is same, then there will be no change in the method of supply, or say statement of law of supply. Then the second one, children, we will study. The second assumption point is constant technique of production. Constant technique. Now what is there? It is assumed that technique of production does not change, means it should be constant, it should be same. Because when we have improvement in techniques of production, say we use modern technology, which will increase in production. So this in turn may lead an increase in the supply at the same price. So constant technique of production is what? It is assumed that technique of production will not change. Improved technique of production may lead to an increase in production, though this turn may lead to an increase in the supply at the same price. Then the third one is no change in weather conditions. Now it is assumed that if there is no change in the weather conditions, natural calamities like floods, earthquakes, etc. may decrease supply. So no change means these things like techniques of production should be constant, weather conditions should be constant. There should be no change. If the weather conditions is constant, techniques of production is constant, children, then supply will not change. The law of supply will be direct related with price. As we have studied, relationship will be direct. That is, higher the supply or higher the price will be higher the supply, low the price will be low the supply. So these things should not change. That is cost of production, technique of production and weather condition, children. Now the fourth assumption point is no change in government policy. So fourth one is what? No change in government policy. Now government policy also, children, what they have told, that it should not change. It should be constant. Now you know every year government has new policies. It frames people to have budget planning, to do savings more, investment plannings. So there are somewhat slight changes in financial planning of the government, and that's why he changed the policies. So when these policies are changes, then there is an effect on supply. So to have an uneffect of supply, or that supply statement should be correct, then government should not change the government policy. Whatever he frames the policy, it should not be changed continuously. Then the fifth one is no change in transportation cost. You know, transportation means goods we transfer from one place to another. So that cost, let's suppose I am having a factory in Pune, and from Pune I am transferring goods to Mumbai. Suddenly the cost of transportation has increased. The vehicle is taking too much money. So what will happen? So if the cost of children transportation has been increased, the entrepreneur, the producer will increase the product price. So everything gets changing, and this will affect supply. So prices say, or transportation cost, if it's increased, the prices of the product will increase. So one more assumption they are telling, that transportation cost should not change. There should be no change in transportation cost. Then the sixth one is, prices of other goods remain constant. Now, what are the prices of other goods which are assumed to remain constant? If they change, the law of supply may not hold true, because producer may transfer resources to other products. So whatever prices of other goods will be remaining constant. So prices of other goods are what? They are assumed to remain constant. If they change, the law of supply may not hold true, because producer may transfer resources to other products. So fourth one, what we studied in assumption policy, that there should be no change in government policy, there should be no change in transportation cost, prices of other goods should remain constant. Then the seventh one, children, in assumption point is no future expectations. Now future expectations the producer should not do, because if I think, say suppose children, I am a producer and I think that in future this product price will increase. So what I will do, I will not sell the product, no? I will not sell my product in outside market. What I will do, I will keep as a stock in my godown. Why? Because I know in future this product will have double price. So what will happen? No future expectations if we keep, the supply will be constant, it will be okay. But the law also assumes that the sellers do not expect future changes in the price of the product. So no future expectations. Whenever you have assumptions or you are studying assumptions, the law also assumes that the sellers do not expect future changes in the price of the product. So assumptions, these are all 7 assumptions, children, that if they have changes in this point, then the supply or statement of the supply will be incorrect. So to have this correct statement for law of supply, that higher the price, higher will be the supply, lower the price, low will be the supply, this thing should be assumed. That what is the first one? There should be constant cost of production, there should be constant technique of production, there should be no change in weather conditions, there should be no change in government policies, there should be no change in transportation cost, and prices of other goods should remain constant. Also, there should be no future expectations, children, that in future people should not expect. Then yesterday we studied about law of supply. Now we will come to our next point in the chapter, children, exceptions of law of supply. Now exceptions means where some things are there that this law of supply cannot be applicable. We will see one by one slowly what are the exceptions of law of supply. So we are studying these exceptions to the law of supply. The first one will study, children, supply of labor. Now listen this properly. Labor we all know, work, manpower, supply of that labor. So labor supply is the total number of hours that workers to work at a given wage rate. See, laborers you all know, either they get salary or they get wages. Daily wages is dependent upon how many hours they work. So it is represented graphically over here down in your textbook by a supply curve that we'll study. And in case of labor, as the wage rate rises, the supply of labor, hours of work would increase. So supply curve slopes upward. See what they have told, children. Labor, say if my one day salary is increased, say suppose I was getting 100 rupees for 2 hours, but now I am getting 200 rupees. But what for 200 rupees? 3 hours. That means my working hours have increased. So when my working hours increased, my salary increased. So what happened over here? When my salary increase with working hours increases, the supply curve will move in upward direction. So the supply curve slopes upward. And when the supply of labor falls, that is supply of labor work falls, with a further rise in wage rate, then the supply curve will bend backward. See, the thing is, children, now what they have told, supply rises. When it rises, the supply curve rises, it moves in upward direction. When the wage rate increases, the working hours also increases. But the second thing also they have told, even if the supply labor rises, say wage rate rises, the working hours increased, but some people will prefer leisure time. Leisure time means what, children? That is comfort zone. So even if the salary has been increased, people will not do extra work. People not wait for extra hours, even if the salary has been increased, because people will be preferring more leisure work, comfort zone. So even if receiving high amount of wages, children, people will not do extra work, then the supply curve is going downward direction. Keep in mind what I am telling. What was the law of supply telling us? That higher the price, higher will be the supply. Okay, we agreed. When wage rate increases, the labor hours increases, so supply curve moved upward. But the thing is, when the people are having comfort in their work, even if extra hours are increased, they don't want payment extra. They told this much hours are enough for us. We will work that time only part time. We don't want extra money, we don't want extra hours. Then that time the supply curve goes down. It goes in backward direction because labor is preferring leisure, comfort in their work. So thus they have told, after a certain point, when wage rate rises, the supply of labor will fall. It can be explained with the help of diagram. See over here, children, in a backward bending, means this diagram is showing us backward bending supply of labor curve. So we'll see how this diagram is explained, children. We'll see. So see over here, children, labor supply schedule is given, table 4.4. Now what they have mentioned, 3 columns: wage rate per hour, hours of work per day, total amount of wages. Now in that they have given 100 wage rate per hour. For that 100 rupees, 5 hours, means 5 hours a person should work, he will get 100 rupees. Total amount of wages then 500, means 1 hour 100 rupees. So 5 hours if a person work, he will get, children, 500 rupees. Then 7 hours a person work, 200 they have made 1 hour. So 7 multiplied by 200, 1400 they are getting. For 300, 6 threes are multiplied by 1000, 1800. The what has been increased? Amount of wages. The salary has been increased, but the hours also increased. If you can see, children, the hours also increased. That is, hours per day, if you can notice, 5 to 7 and 7 to 6. See, what has increased? For 200 rupees, 7 hours per day a person should work. And for 300 rupees, 6 hours per day a person should work. Now we'll see the labor supply curve over here. See how they have plotted. X-axis, see, children, if you can see, X-axis, supply of labor, hours is mentioned, and here the price, rupees, wage rate is mentioned on Y-axis. So 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees, then the hours 5, 6 and 7 on X-axis. So then they plotted the point. See over here, if you can see, 100, 6 hours, 5 hours, sorry, 200, 6 hours, and for 300, 7 hours, their graph is drawn. Now see, the dotted line you can see, for 200, see, children, 7 means people will prefer, see, for rupees 200 they have mentioned 7 hours working time, and for 300 they have mentioned how much? 6 hours working time, and for 100, 5 hours. So a curve is drawn, if you can see, when plotting, after plotting of the points, SAS1 is drawn. SS is a supply curve, and this A is mentioned as leisure time. AS is mentioned as what, children? Leisure time. And SA is the increasing supply curve. See, a curve is there, but see children, at the point A, if you can see, here the curve is bending, AS. Backward bending curve it is showing. Means very few people will leave their comfort and go for extra hours and payment. Everyone will not go. That is called as labor curve is an exception to the law of supply, children. So again I will explain you the graph we have seen. So in the figure 4.4 we have seen that supply of labor is shown on x-axis, wage rate per hour is shown on the y-axis. Then the curve SAS was drawn, children, which represents us backward bending supply. See, the curve SAS shows us backward bending supply. See, like this. So initially, when the wage rate is 100 per hour, the hours of the work is 5. The total amount of wages received is 500. When wage rate rises from 100 to 200, hours of work will also rise from 5 hours to 7 hours, and the total amount of wages would increase, children, from 500 to 1800. So here what they have told, that if a person is ready to work only for 6 hours, he doesn't want to work extra hours, he doesn't want to work full day 24 by hours, so he will not be ready to accept that thing. So where over here, even if the salary has increased, did the labor agree to work? No. They prefer their leisure time. So here that this for labor supply curve, it is backward bending. So this is the reason that people will prefer leisure time rather than working extra labors. So therefore the labor or the supply labor curve is backward bending, children, and which becomes an exception to law of supply. So give reasons or agree, disagree. This question may be asked, children. Why law of supply, or explain law of supply's backward bending curve. Law of supply is what? Backward bending curve for labor. Yes, you agree. Because labor will work according to their comfort, according to their time. They will not give extra hours even if they are getting extra money. Depends upon their leisure of time. So this is the first exception where law of supply statement is not applicable, children. Then the second one, the second exception for law of supply is agricultural goods. Now we all know agricultural goods means what? Production of goods. So the law of supply does not apply to agricultural goods as they are produced in a specific season and their production depends on weather conditions. So due to the unfavorable changes in weather, if the agricultural production is low, their supply cannot be increased even at a higher price. See, agricultural farming, we all know farming is dependent on monsoon. So even if we have much money with us, if rainfall is not there, if water is not there, children, production will not be there. And when production less, how you will do supply? Even if you have money, people are demanding at higher price. But if production is only not there, stock is not there of that agricultural farming products, how you will send good supply goods in the market? So this is also one exception to law of supply, agricultural goods. Due to unfavorable changes in climate, we cannot have that production and then there is a shortage. So even if people are demanding at a higher price, we cannot get it. Now present example of this pandemic period, you can see, children, before 1 month oxygen cylinders was so much in demanding for the second phase. When second phase had started, oxygen cylinder production was less but people demanded more. They were taking at 2,000, 10,000, 12,000 also people were buying that oxygen cylinder at so much higher cost. People had money to buy but the production was less. So there was a shortage of oxygen cylinders. So even when we are getting price, the production was not supplied. So this statement of law is not applicable for this agricultural goods. When there is a shortage, how much money you have, you cannot take the production. So the second exception to the law is, children, agricultural production. Now the third one, children, will see the third exception for law of supply, that is urgent need for cash. Now, see, children, if a seller is in need of urgent cash, so whatever production he have, he will not wait that the future this price will change. If a people in are need of money in urgency, they will sell the product at any price. They will sell the product at any price. So, urgent need for cash. That is, if there is urgent need for hard cash, they may sell the product at which may or even below the market price. They will not wait that in future the prices may change, then I will sell the product. No. Whether they get profit or loss, they will sell the product. Why? Because they are requiring money in need. They are needed for cash. So that time, children, then law of supply is not applicable. So if the seller is in emergency, he needs hard cash, he will sell product at any cost. He will not look for whether it is high or below the market price. So these 3 points we studied in this period regarding exception of law of supply, children. The first one was what? Regarding labor supply curve. So labor supply curve in exception is a backward bending curve, SS curve. Why? Because even if the price or salary increases, the working hours have increased. So this will not be applicable to all the laborers to do work extra hours. Then the second is agricultural products. We all know agricultural products are dependent on rainfall. And the third exception, children, is urgent need for cash. So when a seller is in need for cash, he may sell the product at any cost. He will not think of profit or loss. That is the next exception for law of supply. Remaining exceptions we'll study in next period, children. Till then, bye. Thank you.